Nebraska recruiting is officially back. The Huskers have a huge recruiting weekend on their hands, hosting multiple 5-star prospects and a couple high 4-stars over the next couple days. So in today's video, I'm going to go over every single prospect that will be visiting Lincoln, who these guys are, what they bring to the table, will they commit to the Big Red, and everything else you need to know. So really quick, this is a jam-packed recruiting update. I'm fired up. If you are too, hit that like button. And also, hey, if you support what I'm doing here, daily Husker football content, spring practice updates you're going to get nowhere else, recruiting updates just like this and so much more, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out so much more than you would know. Once again, hit that subscribe button to stay in tune with your favorite team. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it, going over this jam-packed Nebraska recruiting update. Recruiting is really starting to pick up steam. We get to this point in about late March where we really start to see some action. A lot of these visits are back. And then when we get to about late April, May, June, July, there's going to be commits left and right. It's going to be really busy. But right now is when things really start to get going once we get these big recruiting weekends back. And this is a huge one for the Huskers. A lot of big-time prospects visiting Lincoln over the next couple of days. I want to get things started with the 2026 recruits that will be visiting Lincoln, because we got not only 2026 guys, we have 2027 5-stars and 4-stars that we'll get into as this video progresses. But let's start it off with the most recent class, the rising seniors. 2026 Nebraska's probably biggest defensive line target in this class will be visiting this week. Let's get things started with 4-star top 100 player out of St. Louis, Missouri. You already know who this is, Titan Davis. So he will be here on the 28th. So this weekend visiting Nebraska, checking out spring practice. Now, if you're not familiar with Titan Davis recruitment, he's going on pretty much a tour over the next couple weeks to a bunch of programs: Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, basically all of the schools in his top 10, in his top 12. And he's finding out which ones he likes the most. Now, he put Nebraska at pretty much the end of this tour. He's really wrapping up his spring visits. But that's a good thing for Nebraska, because this is one of the few programs he's visiting that he will be able to see spring practice. He'll be able to see what's going on with the Huskers, their scrimmages, how they conduct practices, the coaches, the players. He's really going to have a good time in Lincoln this weekend. Nebraska's going to roll out the red carpet for him again. We've talked about Titan Davis extensively, what he is as a player. Super physical player, 3 technique. He's an elite pass rusher. He's a great run stopper. He's just a do-it-all, Chase Young type of guy who's an instant impact guy, plug and play as a true freshman. He's a blue chipper. If you want to really get to the quarterback at an elite level, have a great defensive line, dominate the trenches, this is somebody that you're going to really try to get to Lincoln no matter what. Whatever it costs, get him here. I'd imagine it might come down to NIL. With this guy, how good he is, top 100 prospect, it might come down to NIL. Nebraska got to be willing to bid high, and I think they're going to do exactly that, because this is a guy that they really want. They've been after him for a long time. He will be visiting this weekend. So Titan Davis will be visiting Nebraska. I expect him to be back in about June for an official visit. This is not an official visit, but he's basically checking out the program once again. He's already visited Lincoln multiple times. Now we get into a new name who will be here today. When I post this video on Wednesday, he will be in town. This is Ryan Murat, high 3-star center coming out of Florida, specifically the Miami area. Now again, he plays guard, he plays center, he's played a little bit of tackle, so you like the positional flexibility about Ryan Murat. Honestly, I think I really like his game when it comes to, he's built really well. He's 290, a lot of good weight on him. He's 6'4". He's really developed in the pass pro, which you don't normally see from these guards. So another guy who I really like as a potential plug and play. Maybe not right away, but going into year 2, year 3, he's going to be better off because of his experience in the pass pro. We have some pretty good offers here. Most notably, Nebraska and Miami are the 2 that really are going after him the hardest. But you got Florida in here. You got Syracuse, Ole Miss, you got Tulane. So some pretty decent offers for him, but Miami really pushing. It's down to us and the Hurricanes. Would not be shocked if this visit goes well. He's trying to make a decision very soon. Who knows? He might commit to the Huskers, but right now Miami is the favorite. So that's a new name. Watch out for on that O-line. Another new name who will be visiting Nebraska this weekend on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is Cameron Hamiel, coming out of Arizona, 4-star corner, 6 foot tall, 175 pounds. This is somebody who Addison Williams, the second he got to Nebraska, he's been going after hard, true man-to-man corner, really good length. Once again, has that positional flexibility, can play corner, can play nickel, can play slot, can play safety, he can play rover. Good tackler. I really like this guy's game. Again, he was super athletically gifted. that's all something that I like about him. Again, yeah, he's got that speed, but more than anything, I like how physical he is as a corner. But again, he will be visiting on Saturday. Penn State, he was also visiting them coming up. Arizona State there. Got some good offers. You got Bama in there, Arizona. Let's see. You got Michigan. You got Ohio State, Oregon. Man, he got some really, really good offers. But Nebraska trying to impress him this weekend. This is a name that I would absolutely watch out for because he's going to continue to rise up the recruiting rankings as he's done over the past couple weeks. And then we go to the offensive line here before we get into the 2027 class because there are some big-time 2027 guys. We have Leon Noyle Jr., offensive tackle, coming out of New Orleans, 6'5", 270 pounds. Once again, built pretty well. Again, not a lot of bad weight on him. Again, you like his positional flexibility. You can probably play guard as well. Just more of a monster type of guy who's really, really good in the run game. Needs to develop his pass pro footwork and technique, but really, really like his game. Got some good offers there. You got Missouri, you got Oklahoma State, Baylor, Houston, a couple others, but he will be visiting Nebraska, another name that Nebraska is potentially going to go after in the 2026 class. All right, 2027 time. A lot of big-time prospects. Buckle up. Let's start with the quarterback's position because we got not one, but two potential five-star quarterbacks who will be visiting Nebraska in the 2027 class. Let's get things started with the number one who will be deciding very soon. This is Trey Taylor. So he's announced that he will be committing in early June. He's pretty much down to, I'd say, Nebraska, LSU, Illinois, Michigan, Texas A&M, and Alabama. So that's kind of his top six. I'd say Nebraska right now is the third in that process behind Michigan and Illinois. But with that being said, Nebraska still has a very, very good chance to land Trey Taylor. Now, again, he is the 11th best player in the class of 2027. Of course, they don't give 5 stars to these 2027 prospects until the summer, so he will get a 5-star in the summer when he commits. But right now, he is a 4-star, but he's a 5-star quarterback talent. Again, 6'3", 180 pounds. We've already talked about him. What he brings on the football field. Again, he can get outside the pocket. He's dual threat, but he's a pass-first guy. Pinpoint accuracy is something that I've been really, really impressed with watching him. His accuracy is just incredibly, incredibly good for somebody his age. Bullet arm, man, and a guy who's just committed to the game. He's always working hard. He's a good kid as well. So Trey Taylor visiting, I believe, tomorrow. So he's visiting on Thursday. He's going to, again, he's visiting all of these schools recently, Michigan, Illinois. But you got to impress him, but you also probably got to incentivize him with some money as well because it's going to come down to money for a lot of these quarterbacks. But again, you want a game changer who you can give the keys to after Dylan Raiola. This is a future 5-star. It's really interesting in Nebraska. Let's see what they can do here. Really like where we stand with Trey Taylor, though. The 11th best player in his class, number 4 quarterback, will be visiting Nebraska tomorrow. Keeping it with the quarterbacks, new name who will be visiting the Huskers, Keegan Croucher, coming out of Connecticut, borderline 5-star in his respective class, 6'4", 185 pounds. He will be to Lincoln as well. He will be here on Saturday and Sunday. Now, again, super, super dynamic prospect. And once again, kind of a guy who can get outside the pocket. More of a pass-first guy, though. I'd say he's less dynamic than Trey Taylor, but good arm, really, really good accuracy, smart quarterback when I was watching him. He kind of reminds you a little bit of Baker Mayfield, too. Like, he can get outside the pocket. He can make plays, but, again, you love his accuracy, and you love his offer list. Again, he got some really, really good schools going after him, most notably Michigan, Michigan State, Ole Miss, Syracuse, a couple others there. But, man, Keegan Croucher, somebody who Nebraska's recently got involved with. Would not be shocked if they don't get Trey Taylor. This is the second guy they want. Top 100 quarterback. He'll take that every single day of the week. It's been a minute since we got an East Coast quarterback, but he will be to Lincoln this weekend. So like him, 2 big-time quarterbacks. Going to the running back position, Noah Roberts. It's up in the air whether or not he's going to be visiting this weekend. He's going to be visiting very soon, but I just want to put him on your radar for the sake of this video in the 27 class. Borderline 5-star prospect. He's the number 2 running back according to Rivals in his class, 36th in the country. He's visited Nebraska twice now, once again coming out of Chandler, Basha, specifically high school. Man, he's just super, super, super fast. Super dynamic, kind of like a Saquon Barkley a little bit. Juke move, spin move, hurdle, everything you can imagine, man. He can take any single ball to the house. Really, really like his game. He will be visiting Nebraska soon. Not sure if it's this week, but he will be visiting this spring. And Nebraska's right now probably in that top 5 for him. So the guy you're going to absolutely want to look out for. A couple other guys here in the 27 class. Jack Brown is a tight end who's a 4-star coming out of Missouri, 6'5", 210 pounds, super, super physical tight end, but also has some good speed on him, good athleticism, can go up and get jump balls. Nebraska's done a good job recruiting these tight ends. This is a guy who has a lot of good offers. Now, Missouri probably the favorite to land him right now, that hometown school, but Nebraska trying to play catch up here. If he has a good visit, wouldn't be shocked if they can, change the tide here. A couple other guys here on the offensive line. Kennedy Brown, top 100 offensive tackle. We'll be checking out the Huskers for the first time. 6'5", about 285 pounds. Again, big bruiser tackle, good in the running game. Just pancake city coming out of Texas, man. He's a Texas lineman through and through. Once again, very, very good offers, good footwork. Nebraska right now really been doing a good job recruiting. I might say probably they're the favorite with a couple other schools here, but Kennedy Brown, another name that you need to watch out for. One more we'll talk about is Cooper Hackett will be visiting this weekend. He will be visiting tomorrow. This guy comes out of Oklahoma, another 4-star tackle, a lot bigger. Less than 6'7", 250 pounds. He's just good weight. He is pure muscle, not a lot of fat on him. He's kind of built like a defensive end, but again, pretty good in the running game, really, really good in the pass, bro. And he just bullies these kids in the interior. I like him a lot at left tackle. I think he's a guy who's going to be pretty much a swing tackle. He's not going to play guard at the next level. So really like his game, Nebraska. He will be visiting us tomorrow. So those are pretty much the prospects, the top guys that will be visiting this weekend over the next couple of days. A lot of big-time guys will be trickling in over spring ball. So a lot of big-time weekends before the official visiting period in the summer. This is a big-time weekend, though. For 2026 and 2027, going to try to leave a lasting impression in these guys' recruits' minds. Hopefully they will commit to the Huskers in a couple weeks. Obviously, these 26 guys will start committing in a couple weeks. The 27 guys have about a year before they'll really start committing in the summer of 2026, so next year. So let me know your thoughts down below about this big-time recruiting weekend for Nebraska. Absolutely want to hear what you say. Hey, if you made this far in the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go with your head. Go on, Matt Rhule. See you in the next one.